stalled right now, and that rain is just pinwheeling around different areas across this part of Texas. So you can see where the storm is. Don't be fooled by the fact that it is now a tropical storm. It's not the winds going on from here on out, those 65-mile-per-hour winds. Look at the movement. It's stationary, and that's...
Hurricane Harvey was a Category 4 hurricane off the coast of Texas and Louisiana. And it made landfall. What made it more devastating than typical hurricanes are more wind damage, a little bit of rain. Harvey just kept rotating around and dumped right around 52.77 inches of rain in a matter of a few days.
It brought all the water in, the winds. It still hit the Houston area, caused major flooding. It sat over that area for quite a while when it moved inland.
Devastation, flooding, traumatic to not only civilians but first responders down there. While all this is going on, they're working their tails off overtime, and a lot of them can't even get back to their house or haven't gone back to their house to see the damage to their own houses yet. They're staying on the job, protecting the city, protecting, the civilians while their homes are destroyed.
A lot of these folks that lived in the Houston area witnessed flooding that unlike any other before.
Seeing the pictures and devastation, I knew other guys were talking about it, but then there was a Facebook post made how Chief Wrights wanted to get a boat.
Fast-paced decision. We didn't have much time to think about it. Luckily for us, we did have an idea in the week and a half prior to that we wanted to do this. We just didn't know logistically if we could pull it off.
So some people know that McCutchanville has a good working relationship with Cypress Creek EMS. We've been going down and participating in their basic tactical operator medical support course for the last 3 or 4 years. And from up here through social media, we found out just exactly the damage and the magnitude that these first responders were going through. Several of them lost everything and were sleeping in shelters. Others couldn't get back home and were sleeping at the command center and at dispatch. Given our personal relationship with the area, with specific members there, we made the decision that it was time for us to step up and help.
I knew, working with McCutchanville, and how dedicated they are to serving people, serving causes like that, that maybe they would have something in the works, and I also knew that EPD, the police department, was down there.
So we reached out to our Evansville Police Department contacts, Officer Lenny Reed specifically, and they were going down there as well to help and gather supplies. And we decided that we were going to take over their efforts to gather supplies because they needed to get ready to go. They could no longer accept those and still be ready to go on time. So our operational goal was to go down there and be there when the first wave of Evansville, Edinburgh County responders were leaving.
But once we got the final word that gave us the green light to come down, we had already done some pre-planning just in our head and some things like that, which really helped us out. But it was rough. All the phone calls, graciously we had a lot of people giving us support, donations and things like that. So that really alleviated a lot of the questions of how are we going to afford this without pulling funds directly from the fire department.
We got with Sergeant Cullum, their public information officer, and he put it out on their Facebook and on Twitter, and changed the drop-off site to McCutchanville Station 5, our headquarters. We put it out on our social media, personal social media, and took over the initial donation area from them. We reached out to a few local businesses. They were able to step up with either monetary donations, one national chain was able to give us a discount on equipment that we were going to need for the trip down there. And even our trustee's office did a wonderful job, stepped up and supported us going down there in our relief efforts.
You know, obviously we got a lot of non-perishable food, stuff like that, but we didn't have to worry about handling that. We ended up finding a truck driver, had his own truck and trailer that was willing to haul all the stuff down there. Our own membership from the fire department had donated money, and then we've got the Women's Auxiliary. You know, they donated money. Our Center Township trustee, their advisory board had donated. Lots of businesses had given, and even so, in the aspects of like safety equipment and stuff like that, you know, Sterling Boiler really came through and helped us out in that aspect. Went down. We had 3 vehicles that we all kind of caravanned in.
15-hour track the very first day. Ended up staying at a hotel that night.
15 hours of driving. You know, it was tough.
Got about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours of sleep. Some guys less. And then we got up early in the morning and decided to head down there.
Immediately met up with the police, the Evansville Police Department, as they were clearing out at Cypress Creek EMS. Kind of talked to them for a little bit. You know, they kind of gave us a heads up on what they were doing, what to expect. After that, you know, we went over to the Tomball Jet Center, and that's where all the donations from the Evansville area, that's where it was being housed and handed out.
The Evansville area took 440,000 pounds of supplies to the Houston, Texas, Harris County area.
Supplies coming from Evansville had already filled up what they had, and they had no more room for it, so they had to move it to an actual jet hangar. That's how many supplies came from Evansville. But that first day we spent sorting through all the donations and basically separating it to make it kind of a almost like a shopping mall.
And we ended up setting up basically a makeshift market. Missy, Chief Wright's wife, she did a phenomenal job on getting things sorted out and trying to get things set in place.
Everything was separated, so when these individuals came in, they knew exactly where to go. They didn't have to sift through all kinds of stuff to find what they needed. Everything was all placed strategically and in a manner of which, if they knew what they needed, we could say, yes, it's right over here. So that's what we did on the first day. Second day, we split up. We had a group of 9, and 3 had stayed at the warehouse, and 6 of us basically went door to door. The night prior to our second day, we got a call. A sheriff deputy was in need of help.
And we went to his house first, and driving through his neighborhood was, I'd never seen anything like it in my life. His neighbors were just, you could just see the looks on his neighbors' faces, just looking at their houses, and all of their belongings were just on the street. The smells down there were terrible. Really, the pictures and stuff that we got and the news got really don't do it justice. You really have to be in it to really fully comprehend the devastation that these people were going through down there. Some of these parts of this city had never had flooding before, so a lot of people didn't even have flood insurance. So a lot of them really lost everything.
A lot of these homes, water was up to the first story up to the roofs. So everything inside had to be gutted. So driving down the road in these subdivisions, you would just see drywall, carpet, flooring, appliances, just everything piled out either on the street or on the lawn.
And looters were stealing stuff. So you'd see signs saying, you know, you come try to take our stuff, or we'll shoot. Shoot first, ask questions later, stuff like that. And that was pretty surreal.
We got to his house and we started basically overhauling his house, tearing the sheetrock out, getting the floors up, getting all of the furniture out, and that's what we started with.
We helped him move all this stuff out. We had to tag all the stuff, photograph it. My wife took pictures of every item that potentially could have been damaged for insurance purposes. And then once we got him done, we moved on to the next one.
Being able to help one person just wasn't enough for us. We knew that we wanted to help as many people. Heck, we'd look over and see a guy that was just doing it himself, and one of our firefighters, Mike Smith, said, well, why don't we just go help him out? We all were just together on everything, wanting to just help as many people as we could.
And then the calls just started coming in. We're out in the field, we would get the call, all right, here's this guy's number or this gal's number, first responder with so-and-so department. They've had really bad flooding, everything's damaged, they need your help. Here's their address, and we take off.
For the next, from then on, that's pretty much what we did. We got a whole tour of Houston. We were all over the city, we logged a lot of miles. A lot of people that we, when we knock on their door and say, hey, there's 6 of us here, what do you need? You guys sit down, take a break. We've got a lot going on. We'll do everything. We saw a lot of raw emotion. We saw tears, just happiness, jumping up and down.
Everybody knows if you don't get rid of mold's going to grow. So what would have it done? It could have grown up past that 4-foot mark to where now they got to tear out 8 feet of drywall. So getting in there early and knocking all that stuff out, really helped these families out a ton.
We cleared about 3 houses a day. Pretty decent sized houses with a lot of stuff, full furniture, drywall, floors, everything. Met a lot of great people on the way.
The first night when we were at the warehouse, we got to bed probably about midnight. Second night, it was probably about 1 in the morning. And then the third day, we had to be up and at it by 5 because we had a pretty good drive to a Texas Ranger's house.
Oh my God, our team from McCutchanville, I mean, it was nonstop. I mean, we had 15, 16, 17-hour days, a couple days down there, and I didn't hear anybody complain, and we did hard work. I mean, we did hard work down there, and everybody just pitched in and worked their tails off, and pretty much from the time we got up, we went to our first assignment, till we got back to station, showered, went to bed, everybody just worked as a team. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a greater bunch of individuals to go down there and do this with. They were amazing.
It's almost like we had done this before, but yet none of us have really even worked together on a scene, as a group that large.
We donated to several families that had lost things. Of course, we took supplies with us that were donated out.
Every time we went to one of the houses, if they needed it, we'd give them pool shock to help treat mold. We'd give out water. We'd give brooms, mops, anything of that nature to help them after we left, maybe clean up more if there's more that needed to be done.
So it is any day that a firefighter, police officer, any first responder is in trouble, it is our natural instinct as first responders to help.
I wanted to help people out any way that I could. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do large things, and by the time we got down there, a lot of the water had receded. Some of it was still up, and there were parts that were still flooded. But I knew that I needed to go down there and help those people out for something. I just felt like I needed to.
People in need. I know they're 15 hours away, if you will, but it was somebody it was somebody's home that was destroyed. Kids, mom and dads that maybe lost their parents, people without food, electricity, without water. We knew that even though they weren't our close neighbor like in the tri-state area, but we knew we had to get down there and do something.
Man, you know, the main thing that I can say first and foremost is dedication. I mean, you know, these guys and gals were willing to walk away from their livelihood, from their family, from their friends. Some of them even gave up income because of missing work.
I did. I took off work for a week. My wife and my daughter both understood that those people down there needed help, and they understood what I was doing. So,
you know, for us, it was just a humbling experience, and you know, it was nice to be able to give back, because you never know when we may need the help.
Obviously, I'd never done any kind of firefighting or public service before. It really showed me what it's about and how you can help people, and how grateful they are, you know. And you don't expect anything in return. You do it because that's the type of people we are. And it really, you know, solidified my decision to come and volunteer here and do what I can for the community.
I'm very proud of the donations that our community came up with and our members that sacrificed their own time. It's very amazing to see what our community can do, especially our members.
These folks are dedicating their time, and it's all about the passion that's within them. And you know, when you've got heart and you've got passion and you're dedicated, I mean, that is a strong individual right there. And you know, I just hope our community understands that that's what these guys and gals of McCutchanville Fire Department is built around, or at least that's how I feel, because we see it every day.